I think things are starting to happen with my face that I'm not totally in control of.
Hi, I'm Aliana Mediratta.
And I'm Lily Taylor.
And we're news editors here at Student Life. In the spirit of First We Feast's Hot Ones, today we're sitting down with my two-time professor and future best friend, Heather McPherson, to talk about her work as a writer and a professor.
Heather's a senior lecturer in the English department who teaches a range of classes, including modern humor writing, literary journalism, and the craft of the literary magazine. Heather was born in Mexico, Missouri, and got her English degree from Davidson College and her MFA from the University of Minnesota.
Heather, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
Our first flavor is the least spicy one, and it's garlic flavored hot sauce.
What do you think of your first ever bite of half and half chicken?
The chicken is delicious.
Heather, earlier in your career, you acted in a video for the YouTube channel Howcast, where you told people how to clean their retainers. Did you ever have a retainer or braces? And if so, do you have any funny stories about what might have led you to participate in the video?
Yeah, I did have braces and I had a retainer. And I was the only person who had a retainer at that point in our adult life. That's the most humiliating, if you will, story that I have about it, yes.
This next hot sauce is a habanero sauce, and it's the second hottest one today.
It's only the second hottest.
Heather, what are your thoughts?
It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
I'm just hungry is the problem.
In 2019, you wrote an article for The Cosmopolitan about staying in a haunted ghost house with your mom. Do you believe in paranormal activity, and what tips do you have for someone seeking out ghosts?
I have such a slight internet presence, and I regret everything that exists.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No, I don't. Full stop.
What
I'm
would
sorry.
you say to someone who does believe in ghosts and wants to find them?
You will have trouble because they don't exist. I mean, the fun part about that experience was that I didn't think that my mom believed in ghosts, but she was totally open to the idea and experience, and so that was funny to me. She's more open-minded than I am, and was like sort of willing to go along with the experience and to look and to potentially see signs that I didn't think were there. But that was fun.
Our third flavor is chipotle pepper. It's definitely getting spicier.
Yeah, it is. Heather's like unaffected.
I have a very slow palate.
Our next question is, your husband, Edward McPherson, also teaches at WashU, and he teaches creative nonfiction. And some of his accomplishments in his professional life are the 3 books that he have written. In those books, in the acknowledgments, he thanks you for both your editorial skills and your editorial viciousness. In your experience, is it easier or harder to edit the work of someone you know?
Well, it's easier to be vicious, I guess, with someone you know well enough to know that they won't reject you for your viciousness. I think that I am naturally vicious, and so it can be, having just graded today and given student feedback, I'm reflecting upon, was I kind enough in my feedback? I think sometimes my instinct is to go right to the here's what I think, and I see my job as being, are you okay? You feel like you're starting to cry.
A little bit.
I'm getting
to cry a
am
little
I
bit.
too vicious
It's because
right now?
It's because of the feedback you gave me on my
That was a
assignment
good
earlier
question.
today. I think my eyes are starting to water, but
It's happening. It's happening. So I probably don't temper myself enough when I'm giving editorial feedback to people that I don't know well, and then I just, take the gloves off and go for it when I'm helping someone I know well.
Does he usually respond well to that?
Well, no, but he appreciates my help ultimately. One time we were in a coffee shop, and we were meeting about a section of one of his books that I had read and I was going to give him feedback on. And apparently, I wouldn't remember this story. It doesn't sound quite right, except for we've told this story many times, and so I believe it is true. The story goes that I said to him, the thing I hate the least, and then someone whirled around to see who had just said such a heinous thing, and it was someone we knew. And she was, the look on her face was very stricken, and then I realized, like, oh, maybe that was a bit too much.
Does that person remember the story that way, or do they remember it differently?
She no longer speaks to us. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. We joked about it at the time, so I don't know.
Our fourth sauce is whiskey jalapeno.
I've fully committed to that one.
One of the courses you teach here is modern humor writing. Can you teach someone to be funny, and if so, how?
Well, Aliana, you took that class last
I did
semester.
take that class.
Let me throw it to you. Can I teach people to be funny?
Well, I do think that I was funny before I took the class, so I'm unsure if we can
I'll be the
gauge.
judge of that.
But I do think that it taught me the various ways in being funny. I think there's more than one way to be funny. And I think that course, we looked at a lot of different things and a lot of different comedians and a lot of different styles of humor. So I feel like yes.
Okay, thanks.
Do you ever read things that students write and just think, this isn't funny?
No! Most of my students come into the class with an understanding of what they find funny. My class is humor writing, so it's not performance. It's not, being funny in person. I think that my students' writing is funnier at the end of the semester, and they often claim that they see that change, but like all good students, they know what their professors are hoping to hear, so it's also possible that they're just, shining me up.
Well, I think by the end of the semester, I was laughing every day in class. I feel like we had a very funny group of people in my class.
Our fifth flavor is mango ghost pepper.
Tasting more ghost pepper than mango. How are you feeling, Heather?
I'm feeling like they were well aware that mango was not going to cover up ghost pepper.
Yeah, there was a bit of deception going on. So, you once played drums for the iconic 90s metal band Korn in their MTV Unplugged recording of their album in Times Square. First of all, do you play the drums regularly? And second of all, how did you get that gig?
I'm having trouble focusing. I no longer play drums. I'm having an out-of-body experience. I
think I'm crying.
My mouth is sweating.
I don't play the drums. I once played in a Japanese taiko group. That group was asked to play for Korn on MTV Unplugged, and therefore I played with my group.
Was it a fun experience?
It was fun, yeah. Don't touch your eye, don't touch your eye. My gums. Are you finding that your gums are talking to you in a way?
It's my whole mouth.
Yeah.
I'm aware of my gums in a way that I've never been.
Our sixth and final sauce is extreme habanero.
This is gonna be child's play.
I can't taste anything.
We've ascended beyond spice to a different level.
I'm in another plane.
We mentioned earlier that you were born in Mexico, Missouri, and then you moved from North Carolina to Minnesota, all over the place. What brought you back to Missouri?
WashU. I didn't think that I would return to Missouri when I left for college. My husband got a tenure track position here when we were in Minnesota, and so here we are.
Were there things you missed about Missouri while you were away?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been back for a while now, so Yes, I mean, I went to school in North Carolina, and I was told when I was going, like, oh, you're going to school in the South, and I thought, I don't know, what's that? I didn't imagine it would be that different, but it was. And then I moved from there to New York, and I lived in the city for about 10 years, and that was very different. And I actually, when I moved to Minnesota, it felt familiar. It's quite different from Missouri, but there is something about the Midwest. So it feels familiar to me, and familiar can be very nice.
Well, thank you for coming on the show today. I hope that the sauces weren't too spicy. I can't talk anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't glad to be here, but I am glad to be at WashU.
Thank you for watching Student Life Media's Hot Ones with Heather McPherson. Stay tuned for more episodes of the show.
In the meantime, visit studlife.com to watch more videos and read our latest issue.